It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This man not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Aha, now you wanna done here. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, àmọ̀ tó lódodo. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining me from. Mostly it's morning anyway, yeah. This is Maiyegun's Brunch Time Live. Share the broadcast. Nigerians who have been screaming, is it that you are lying to us or Thiefnubu is lying against you? According to Akuri Ngalailai, is back again, the guy that has become your new Liamo, Garbage Iseu and Femi Oponu Adeshina combined, is back again to tell us that your lives have become so better, your purchasing power has increased, and you didn't tell us.
Yes, right.
There are so many things you didn't tell us, but we do know that, you see, the people who believe that they could use propaganda to run a country, they still haven't learned any lesson, because a lot of you have become not only gullible, but mostly cowards. That would rather find the excuse why these guys can actually get away with all of this madness. You point fingers. You are a direct victim, but you're pointing fingers. You're looking for a messiah. And that is why somebody like Akuri Nigalailai will still have a job. So today, usually, you know that the brunch time is the time where, indeed, you can call in any time. But a lot of you have become so used to that pattern where Maiyegun would have to kind of present, talk, do all of that, and then you would then call in and contribute. It doesn't matter, all right? But I will present anyway, you know, because I've got something to share with you. The first one is from this nigger, Akuri Nigalailai, a born liar, a former AIT TV presenter, AIT. And then he got an appointment under Bokwari, and he has now graduated to the one misleading or leading the propaganda to mislead millions of people. I did tell you something, right? You see, the propaganda of APC, especially Thiefnubu and his gang, is going to get so ridiculous, right? That when they start talking about Nigeria and what they have done, how they have saved you, a lot of you will be looking at yourself and be like, are they talking about this place? What is he talking about? I'm going to show you a video now anyway. Then I remember also telling you that, you see these criminals who are so shameless, these born career criminals, right? So shameless that they will make you feel like they are doing something, especially from the ruin and the destroyed country and the economy. By the way, when these Soluri Brukus came in, you see, let's be very clear though, because somebody like myself actually hates the fact that these criminals have power and they are using that, what? To destroy, you know, not just, not just the Nigeria, but just destroying the people generally. I'm talking about people damaged people, destroyed people, courtesy of this power misroad, guys. Akuri Nigalaila said, when these criminals came in 2015, a dollar was 145 naira to a dollar. Remember? A liter of petroleum was 87 naira per liter. And they came in. So they took your dollar to over, 800 naira under Bukwari. Then they started bringing it down again until they brought it down to somewhere around 710 naira. And they wanted people to celebrate. Almost see this achievement. People are not talking now. They are not saying anything now. Now that the dollar is now 400. I'm going to give you the timeline. So when Bokwari and his gang came in, and they started the central bank round tripping. Okay. So no investment in power, no investment in real anything that is actually going to help their currency or their economy. Okay. So what did they do? They took the Naira dollar to over 300, then to 400, then to 500. Then it started coming down again, just same way as they are buying it back that Kadobi is doing. And that is why a lot of you are seeing Kadobi now. Some of you, because of your Stockholm syndrome, you have forgotten that everything Kadobi is doing right now, Emefiole did that too, right? So pump the dollar out. Oh yeah, subsidize it during the peak time when people are demanding for it, so that you can reduce this and that. Then pay subsidy to also reduce, the price of petroleum in a way, right? So they were packaging all of that under Emefiole, and then it came down to 400 and something, and they wanted us to celebrate. As if to say they were not the same Olori Brukus. They are condemned the black market of 190 naira or 200 naira to a dollar, when the central bank official rate was 145 naira to a dollar. Under them, Nigerian naira became 450 naira to $1 official rates. And they turned around, they said, you people hate Nigeria. You don't like anything good. Any good news about Nigeria, you don't like talking about it. Now that the dollar is now coming down from 600 naira, it is now 450 naira. We are not hearing all of you to praise the government and support the government. What they show for last no, right? But they were there. They said we should praise them. Remember? Then finally, he entered Kana. And by the time Bokwari was done, $1 was 710 naira. Official exchange rates. Okay? And Bokwari is not in jail right now. Then Thiefnubu came in. Kolu, within 2-3 weeks, Nigeria naira jumped 1,000 naira to $1. By the time we got to December, Nigerian naira was already doing 1,800 naira to $1. Almost when we got to February, it don't already cross 1,900. It's almost entering 2,000. Abasheti Bagbeni, pound sterling exchanged under these criminals, under this Thiefnubu in the last 11 months, right? The pound sterling was exchanged for 2,700 naira. In case if you have forgotten, it may exchange here for 2,700 naira to one pound sterling. Then they went on borrowing. They took money here, took money there, and they started subsidizing the dollars. They started selling dollars at subsidized rates so that they can control the exchange rates. Then from 1,800, the dollar now fell to 1,500. And we were supposed to celebrate. I don't like good news. When the dollar was going on to 1,008, everybody was talking. Now that the dollar is 1,300, they are not talking. APC. You met it at 145 naira, 145, not 1,450 naira. So they said we are not patriotic. We're supposed to be so happy. And that is why Akuri Nigalailai had this to say. Listen,
Would have been said perhaps 2 months ago. I think that is less the case now when you consider the fact that Nigerians have, borne witness that their spending power has substantially increased over the course of the last 1 month plus. Given the reforms that have been put in place by this administration, even within the Central Bank of Nigeria. Nigerians are recognizing that there is a level of stability, not just strength. It's one thing to bring strength to the currency. It's another thing entirely to bring stability to the currency, to not have it, fluctuating so dramatically up and down. Obviously enables Nigerians to effectively plan and the like. I think when you look at, for example, the implementation now of the National Student Loan Program, which is being rolled out over the course of the next few weeks. Before we get to May 29th, we would have been able to report the figures of the beneficiaries who are benefiting from that program. It would have been said, perhaps.
So what do you say to that? It sat there comfortably and confidently, because that's what they do. They said your purchasing power has increased substantially. Do you know what that means? He also said that it is not the exchange rate that matter. It is the stability. It's not how much you exchange Nigerian naira that matters. It is the stability that matters. Have you witnessed any stability? Ladies and gentlemen, all you businessmen and women, have you experienced stability in the exchange rates? In the last 1 month, have you? Of course not. I know you haven't, but Akuri Nigalailai is so confident, and he went on TV. Well, it is TVC anyway, so I would have expected a journalist, anyways, the interviewer to say, no, you're not saying the truth. There is no reform. If there is any reform happening in Nigeria, it is Thiefnubu reforming the lives of the wretched ass lickers that he is giving appointment to. He is not reforming anything. He is reforming the wretched. Yes. The rogues and the would-be rogues, the ass lickers that he is giving appointment to. And in return, their lives are changing, I think. And yours is not. So Akuri Ningalai lied on your TV because that's what they do. But there's actually nothing that's going to probably there's nothing happening. Pointing to I mean, there's no statistic to back Akuri Ningalai. People have become more poorer. Inflation has finished the people. Purchasing power. You know what is called purchasing power? It is the power for you to buy anything you want. All you need. Do you have improved purchasing power? And what are the metrics? What exactly is the metric that Akuri? He didn't present anything. He just said it, and yeah, it must be true. Then he mentioned student loan. And he said, that one is going to come up in the next few weeks. Is that not what they always say to you? And it's almost 1 year of Thiefnubu. They will look you straight in the face and tell you that if not for Thiefnubu, a lot of you today, you will be hungry, even though you are hungry. They will probably tell you that those of you who are hungry would have probably died, if not for Thiefnubu. So purchasing power is money. And to spend money, you must earn money. And for you to now, enjoy spending your money, you must have value for that money. Nigerian naira has become tissue paper, worse than the used toilet paper. What it is meant for, apart from those who are piling it up and packing it up as a sort of a stack, stacking the dollars, naira inside their different homes. The politicians who can do that. An average person, average people on the street, right, are begging to survive. Those who are working, when you look at them, you'll be so surprised. Are you sure you are employed? Yes, I'm working for. Really? And I think that is why when Thiefnubu and his gang came out to announce a salary, new minimum wage, it's such a ridicule of what you can say, how government actually sees our own citizens. You destroyed your economy to the point that people's money could barely buy them anything anymore. You have a country that is dealing with over 40% food inflation. That is a number. 40% food inflation has further led to over 80% of Nigerians living from hand to mouth, unable to afford basic things, especially food. You know what that simply means? When you put the number to that, you are talking about over 150, 160 million people that could barely feed. Do you even understand what that means statistically? Therefore, those who tend to be working, these are the ones who are actually like working now. Imagine working and you are like somebody who be say you are a wretched, somebody who is jobless. Like you wake up every morning to go to work. You go to work. And when you are paid, whatever you are paid, the money is already devalued. Devalued to the point that it probably take you ×4 or ×5 of what you used to spend on groceries. Let's say you are working and you are earning 100,000 naira. And every month you pay your rent, 10,000 rent, electricity and the rest of them 10,000. Now you still have like about 80,000, right? And you are probably single, no kids, no nothing, just yourself. Fair enough. That could be enough, right? But that was back in the days. So you could probably put about, let's say, 15,000 on groceries, 15,000 on transportation to work. And you could still save some money too. Well, this is going to sound like ancient, like olden days. I'm talking about just about 9 years ago. But today, with your 100,000 naira, you know, number one, your 100,000 naira is practically just about 20,000 naira in value. Yeah, you heard me right. So that means your landlord who has increased his rent, your transportation that has gone up, the food inflation, which has increased the cost of living on its own, all of this, your salary won't be able to. So you are working, but you are still living poor. That's exactly the situation of majority of the people in that contraption. So Thiefnubu now came out and said they are increasing their salary. Okay, explain it to us like 5-year-olds without all this, your jargons and nonsense that you put out there, all words, no action, right? So we decided to look into it, and ladies and gentlemen, it was just like an extension of your slavery. Somebody where they do cleaning. Person where they do cleaning in New York, it will make in 2 days what a medical doctor in Nigeria is going to be paid. Yeah, you heard me right. A cleaner in New York will make just will make more than what a medical doctor make in Nigeria. It will make it in 3 days. So when they were doing all of the I mean, imagine, okay, explain this to me. How much do you think the senior executive of civil service in Nigeria possibly earns? I'm coming back to the minimum now. I'm talking about the highest now. The highest of their pay right there is put at 3.1 million naira per annum. Divide that. Divide that. So, well, it's actually average, not the above anyway, because what they really live on is the corruption of the positions that they are holding. Because when you look at their salaries and then the inflation in the country, the economy, then you realize that majority of the senior government officials, they were supposed to actually be wretched. But corruption is keeping them alive. Majority of them are not looking at the salary. Because how do you explain it? Somebody who is a senior civil servant, their salary a month is just about 250,000 naira. And it is the new minimum wage. 250,000, 300,000. Professors are to be paid 500,000, if that is even true. I don't know. But professors, say professors 500,000. And you say, okay, capital, none of them end up to 6 million naira, okay, per annum, or put it at 6 million naira, highest paid. Divide that. That's 250. So that's 500,000 naira every month. And 500,000 naira with your hyperinflation in that contraption, break it down to what you are going to use it to buy. Even though they are telling you that you don't spend dollars or you don't spend pounds, how daft, economic daft is. You are relying, I mean, everything you have in your country is mostly imported. Imported, though. So which means that you are buying it in dollars, but using your trashy naira. Yeah? So how much is, do you think is 500,000 naira in your exchange? For example, is that up to $300? At least a cleaner in New York will make $100 a day. And a cleaner in the UK will make more than 60, 70 pounds a day. That's almost like $100 as well. And multiply that by 3. So that means somebody who earns 300 pounds sterling in the UK in 3 days is earning more than your senior civil servants in Nigeria. And that's the minimum wage of Thiefnubu. But according to the NLC chairman, he said they will only collect for minimum wage. Minimum wage in Nigeria now is put at 40,000. So that's going to be like extra 18,000 7,000, extra 17,000. That's what Thiefnubu is adding to the 30,000 minimum wage. But they told you, Thiefnubu is coming, is packaging something for you after removing subsidy, with something huge. So you are expecting Thiefnubu to package you something huge. As workers, Abi, they don't package them. Now 17,000. So you will be paid minimum wage of 47,000. And the highest paid among you will be paid maybe 5 million naira per annum. And with your 40-something thousand, that means your per annum money is just about 500,000 naira per annum. That's the minimum wage. And how much is 47,000 naira? Well, that's pretty much just $30. $30 or $35. That is the minimum wage of Thiefnubu. Okay? So listen to the NLC guy, who is now a joke anyway. Ajaire or something. Listen.
Of the economy are not in the right place. Those figures or those minimum wage will still mean nothing. And so it means that the government must be doing the right thing. And what is Labour doing to ensure that government is on its toes to do the right thing, especially within the economic climate that we find ourselves?
Well, government doesn't like pressure. The current administration doesn't like pressure. If you equally come out tomorrow to say, government, we want to do a rally for you to realize where it is penning us, they will fight back. Yeah, and they will get people to attack you and call you all manner of names. They don't want pressure. However, the pressure they are going to get is, direct and commensurate with the pressure we are receiving. Because in this situation, it's like the labor leaders, the unions are the center, of what is happening now. The workers are putting pressures on us, seriously. Some are saying that even, they doubt whether we are genuine in this or whether we are not working with government on this. And government is calling us names, that we are causing trouble, we are not realistic based on economic situation and all that. So probably when this pressure continues, we allow the government to receive the pressure from the workers, who are equally demanding for this pay. However, I have said that we will continue to play this moderating role, the pressure from our members and the position of government, provided government is willing, to see it from the perspective of the worker and to feel the pressure that is coming from the worker, to know that, one can't go to work and come back in the present day Nigeria without spending over almost 70 or 60,000, every month. Now, if we realize this, we'll be on the same table and we'll discuss in the conversation, we may find a way out. I'll give you an example. When we come out with the issue of CNG and we took it to government when they just came into power, and we say CNG, they say, what's the meaning of CNG? We explained it to them. Now, that idea is coming from us. However, now, they are telling you CNG, they have refused to appreciate where it is coming from. And I'm telling you that all the social partners, have a commitment and they can bring suggestions to certain problems that we are facing in this country. But when it is we and them, it becomes a problem, it becomes problematic. You want to be a trade unionist, you want to be a minister, you want to be a permanent secretary. It doesn't go that way. Everybody will bring their own knowledge and experience to the table, and it will help the country to move forward.
When we talk about the minimum wage, it means the wage for the entry the new entrant into the strata, into the ladder of the civil service. And in today's federal service or state service, I'm not sure they are employing anybody who doesn't even have any form of education. So perhaps school certificate is the lowest that is acceptable. But those who will say that for those who are going to be at the bottom of the ladder, whom the minimum wage is for, they may not have had 4 children, because this arrangement or this proposition is made and arranged for six members of a family. That means a wife and a husband and 4 children. And so there are those who are also thinking maybe Labour would tinker with actually being realistic about the figure, knowing that this arrangement or this proposition will be for someone who had been in the civil service for a minimum of 5 years.
I'll say, let me say this. When you talk about those who have 4 children and whatever, I will tell you that studies have shown that those people we are talking of, level 1, step 1 or whatever, most of them have more than 4 children. And that those of you that on level 15 and 18 don't have up to the number of children they have. And this analysis we drew here fits them. It's an analysis of maybe 1 bedroom or whatever. It is not an analysis of 3-bedroom flat. It's not an analysis of duplex. It is not the analysis of a car owner that will fill his time with about 70,000. Maybe 1 week or 1 week plus it will be off. That is not the analysis of the table we brought here. We brought the analysis of the lowest person. And the use of realistic, you have kept on saying it. We have to situate what is realistic in this context.
Mm-hmm.
The realistic, is it what I need to eat till the end of the month? Or is it the quantum of the money as a result of inflation? So realistic has nothing to do with the amount being asked. If the amount being asked for is what will take me to the end of the month, it's a realistic figure.
All right.
But if it is now in millions because of the...
Don't worry, Ajero, you said it all. According to the NLC chairman of Nigeria, which is now obvious that Thiefnubu has succeeded in breaking them. You can see on his face. He said Thiefnubu does not tolerate them coming out to express themselves. He said Thiefnubu's government will send people to attack them. Even when they just want to go and show to Thiefnubu that we are not happy, we are not this or that, so they have already been captured. And Nigerian workers, you have to brace up for what is still coming. They are going to sack a lot of you soon. Okay, I have said that one before. They will. That's what Thiefnubu does. As people were former workers under him in Lagos. They will tell you, when it comes to you demanding for better salary or whatever, then they would have to sack you if they have to make an announcement on that. Or they will make an announcement, but they will never follow it. And they can continue to make their announcements every now and then. So it will look like a breaking news. Maybe you have heard that they have increased your salary. And they've sent the circular out, Abi. And it was supposed to have started from January. A total, a total shit show, right? They are going to do another breaking news maybe before the end of this month to say, oh, Thiefnubu has approved new salary. They were going to do it again in October this year to tell you that Thiefnubu has approved new salary. And by January 2025, you are going to be back here and be asking that, when are they going to start paying the new salary? I will be here. I've seen that happen many times. At least some of you were there when Sanwo-Iku, Pontius Pilate of Lagos, Adegator Sanwo-Iku, you know what I'm talking about, right? You were here when he made a promise about two months ago, sometimes in February, remember? That they were going to start feeding people, 1,000 people every day for 6 months. That was in February. Okay, I just thought I should tell you. So you are going to come back here talking about power. Ladies and gentlemen, I have brought to you the exchanges between the Nigerian senators as well as the Minister of Darkness. To those of you who probably tells yourself, I know Thiefnubu, one will even said, I was on Twitter this morning, and I saw people attacking themselves as usual, okay, like fighting themselves. And I saw one of them in one of those conversations where he said, if you are from South, and you are against the coastal road, you are just an enemy of Nigeria and a foolish person. Even if you don't like Thiefnubu, you are supposed to be happy that you can travel 4 hours from Warri to Lagos. You can travel 5 hours from Akwa Ibom to Lagos on Thiefnubu's coastal road. So as the South, you are supposed to be dancing instead of condemning it. And then some people came in to come and say, what do you call that? No, not that we are not happy. What we are saying is that we know they may never, this is a project they may never complete. East-West Road started by someone and others have abandoned it, successive government. Thiefnubu is not going to be your president for 20 years, maybe. So why not, number one, Nigeria doesn't have that money, but if Nigeria does have 1 trillion naira, why not just spend it on something that can actually be, that is already existing, that can be fixed? Me, Maiyegun, I am not a prophet and I'm not a seer. I am someone who you can say doesn't ignore the obvious or basic detail. I don't ignore detail on anything. And if I put all of the pieces together, and I'm saying it to you right now, that there is no coastal road anywhere. There is no coastal road coming to Calabar or Akwa Ibom or anywhere. It's like, some of you don't get this. Thiefnubu has no plan of constructing any coastal goddamn road. It is an opportunity. And that is how they see it. It is an opportunity. Not only to open up that part of Lagos for the Thiefnubu and the Shaguris and the rest of them who are the owners of that the entire Lekki Peninsula. No competition. Every other one around there either get kicked out or their business get destroyed totally. There is no coastal road, man. Can't you? Oh my God. Devulumayi said the coastal road is going to cost you 4 billion per kilometer. And according to him, the juicy part of it is that, as a coastal road, it's going to pass through all of the coastal states. Ogun, Ondo, Delta, like that. And just like that. So you can sit down and say, I can imagine it if they build this road. Are you mad, Dini? They will do just about 10, 20 kilometers of it. Once they clear that part of Eko Atlantic City, or what they call it, once they clear that part, the rest of you are just on your own. The lands they will claim or the land they will grab from the people around there will be shared by them. As part of the consortium of the Lagos Atlantic, the Shaguris. Can't you see that? And somebody said, okay, if they get to Ondo border and they don't continue, people can complain. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Other than just to come here now and cause them. Abi? So why are you kind of trying to make it look like those who knows them very well, pointing this out, are enemies of Nigeria? But the real enemies, you are looking at them, you think they are your friends, right? It is the same with power. In fact, I saw something that I actually put up. The giant of Africa, giant of Africa, supposed Nigeria, is actually generating almost a ridiculous 4,000 megawatts of electricity. Maybe I told you that when these criminals came in, Nigeria was generating under Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Nigeria was generating over 8,000 megawatts of electricity, distributing over 4,500 megawatts of electricity. And back then, they said the problem of electricity in Nigeria is not really generation, it is distribution. Nigeria has no really, enough infrastructures, right, to distribute the generated electricity. Part of the lies, don't forget. Everything don't enter canal. Under these criminals, especially under Bokwari, the Nigerian national grid collapsed. Nigeria national grid collapsed. Ask me how many times? Nigeria national grid collapsed 231 times under Bukwari. Under Thiefnubu alone, in the last 1 year, the Nigeria national grid electricity has collapsed for more than 40 times. I'm not making it up. Go and Google it. It has become something that is just normal. They don't even do the breaking news anymore. You know that kind of thing, say they know they do breaking news anymore. They will just say, oh, that thing don't collapse again, Jerry. It don't collapse again, Jerry. Under these criminals, APC, Nigeria moved 40 years backward, including Nigerians. Imagine having to live in the world of, like, say, Nigeria of 1960. Which people were looking forward then, they took you back. I'll show you something. This is the electricity generation in Nigeria according to them. Go. I don't know if you can see all this number. All right. See? According to them, Nigeria electricity has improved by 35%. And the 35% is this. So they have generated 4,338 megawatts of electricity. 4,338 in the giant of Africa generating. And they are distributing 3,084 megawatts of electricity. And this is the country they told you is going to be great. It's going to be great. And you too, you are angry when people tell you it is countries don't become great by the word of affirmation or word of mouth. You have to put in the work. But in your delulu, you made this clown or Thiefnubu, the man who sabi discover talent. I cannot share my strategy, Baba Wiri.
I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back. But that's part of what I do. I don't want to sit here.
Nuisance Lele.
Call you Ojopagogo empty-head. He now gave you Peculiar Mercy, Penkele Mercy, Adebayo Adelabu, the one that wanted to be the governor for your state, by the way, as your minister. Let's go and take a look at the exchanges between him and the and the senators, where he practically told them, Nigeria, there is no electricity coming. And when there is no electricity, there is no development. Another 80 years of your life will be wasted by these criminals. And you are not angry. Idinio. But listen to this first. The one where they talk so, now former governor of Kebio, Adamu Ailero, is a thief. He retired after looting Kebbi for 8 years. He retired into the Senate. Ailero. And now they are trying to fight for you with Adelabu. Listen to this first, then I'll bring you Adelabu, the peculiar mess.
My first intervention, Mr. Chairman, is on metering. This course has been charging customers the cost of meters. They insist that they have to pay for metering, despite the fact that both NAC and even DISCO themselves, they said meters are to be provided by DISCOs. But they have not been doing that. Instead, the customers have been bearing the cost. And secondly, Mr. Chairman, the CBN provided money for metering, but we learned from very, very good authority that that money is being diverted for other purposes. And right now, even the EFCC is investigating how that money is being diverted. I know there are 3 or 4 instances where that has been done. So we would like to know from CBN and also the Minister and perhaps even NEC whether such allegations are true. On the issue of consultation, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Gwichikoli, it's quite evident that enough consultation has not been done before this tariff increase. And it is, to say the least, the increase is outrageous, it's unaffordable, and unrealistic. It is only the discourse that are supporting this increase, simply because it's going to favor them. But the Nigerian public, I'm asking a question. The Nigerian public, whom we represent, are crying. And the timing of this increase is not appropriate in view of the fact that there is withdrawal of petroleum subsidy, which has added to the cost of living. There is merger of the exchange rate, which has also made things go very, very high. And now at over 200% of tariff.
200 or 300.
And it has never happened in the history of Nigeria. So I am of the opinion that, Mr. Chairman, from what we heard from the stakeholders, particularly the former chairman of NEC, and also Manufacturers Association, and he has represented manufacturers very well, that there should be a reversal of this tariff increase in the interest of this country. Because there is no way Nigeria can compete favorably if this tariff is sustained. We heard that manufacturers have moved to Ghana, manufacturers have moved even to Benin Republic, some have relocated to other clients. And this is time for Nigeria to really diversify the economy. And the only way you can diversify the economy is to embark on manufacturing.
Thank you. Shut up your mouth. If you are a Lagos Abobaku watching me, do you understand? It is no longer fashionable to come here and try to defend these murderers. So when you see them in the comment section, these are horrible, horrible people that on a one-on-one level, they don't bond their papa well, okay? To say what they will say to your face. These are the wretch, sewage dwellers, okay? And I implore you not to waste your energy on them at all in the comments, especially if you see them on Facebook. Do you understand? So the only thing is that they can sit down there and collect whatever costs you have for them, please. And if they disturb you, I can get rid of them for you. I promise, I can. You know what I mean? They are of no use to themselves. They are of no use to anyone. They are a problem to themselves. They are a problem to the world. And because of them, millions are going through what you are seeing today. So when you see them in the comment section, don't waste your energy engaging them. Spot them out. I can get rid of them for you. Okay? And that's that. So let's go see the Minister of Darkness. Peculiar mess. First.
Generating company. We don't have a distribution company. We can only compel them to performance. So we have such limitations. But over time, we remove everything that is impeding optimal performance of the operators. Thank you for that. Now, going back to the questions, I will leave the question on the discourse charging for metering and the issue of diversion of meter fund to discourse and the NEC not to answer. But when it comes to issue of corruption, number one, which was the issue that the distinguished senator raised, we all accept the fact that for us to have a strong currency, intermittent CBN intervention is not the permanent solution. It is about import substitution, producing what we need and not relying on imports. That's self-sustainability. Then the second is export promotion. After producing what we need and there is surplus, we also must export to other countries to earn foreign currency. Not just export of primary products like we do now, export of value-added processed products that can actually give us foreign currency. Like we understand that, and you can never achieve this if you don't have a strong local manufacturing sector. And the key to strong local manufacturing sector is energy. We all know that. It's energy, and which is why we are saying that this sector must not die. We must take some steps to ensure we address the issues that are impeding optimal performance of the sector. And we must also appreciate that in trying to repair the sector, it will come with pains. If there is no pain, there is no gain. If you believe or you have trust and confidence in the handlers of the sector, and you allow all these policies to move seamlessly, we are going to get a permanent solution. On the issue of corruption, I agree with you. It pervades all government establishments, and this is what this administration is committed to eliminate. And I can tell you that since I resumed duty as Minister of Power, I've raised a number of issues to frustrate corruption in the sector and even expose existing corruption. I will mention two, which you are all aware of. The meter gap we have today is 6 to 8 million meters. But 20 years ago, specifically 2003, the meter gap was not up to 4 billion. And the $200 million was set aside by the Debt Management Office through the Ministry of Power and was given to a particular meter vendor to procure 3 million meters for the sector. If 3 million meters had been procured in 2003, we will not be talking about this magnitude of gap in our meter penetration. But this $200 million was converted at the rate of 160 naira to make 32 billion naira, and it was fixed in a bank for 21 years. No single meter was acquired. So we are our own enemies, we are our own problems. Government provided the money, and someone sat on the money for 21 years until we came. And I know that previous administration have tried to recover this money, but they did not succeed. But thankfully to Mr. President, he merely approved the termination of this loan and the retrieval of this 32 billion naira.
Nuisance lele.
Olore Bruku ni Adelabu. Just so you remember, Sha, is Olori Bueda. That's how they sit and say things. Now, some people collected 32 billion. So he could tell you about the 32 billion. He could tell you about the termination of the contracts, but he won't tell you the name. Because at the end of the day, not them. He has said a lot of things too that I won't share with you. I'm becoming kind of like angry already. Angry. I'm still going to show you anyway. But here, a few other things before we continue listening to that Dumbo, right? The senators are acting. Pretend that you are working, but listen to them.
Have invested in the discourse since they were acquired, because there's been talk of asset stripping, so it would depend on how much the discourse have they been at just the point the way they were when they were acquired was an investment made, minimal, a lot? That would be something I would like to know. Then you're talking touching
the masses. Most of their responsibilities in the act, they are not doing them. Even ordinary transformer. The people are buying the transformers. They will even collect the money to even come and collect the transformers. And they take the money. The only thing you need to be liquid is the meter. Nobody is owing the DSTV now. Nobody is owing MTN. Nobody, because it's prepaid meter. If you don't have your card, you will not get electricity. So this one owing you will not come if you have the meters. I think they should be more interested in that. And when they were bidding for this thing, they told Nigeria that they have the money, that they have the resources. They have not done anything. They have gone to the bank to borrow money. We are not seeing any meter. People are still paying for the one they are buying. Nobody is getting meter free in Nigeria. They still pay for them. When you pay today, the next 5 months you will not get anything. So I think we need to face this discourse. Let them go internal and spend money on where the money will come to the people instead of suffocating the masses. You have to look at the time. You have to carry a bit for Nigeria to get out of this fuel subsidy before we add that of electricity. Whatever you can do to postpone it a bit will be to the advantage of Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Whenever there's rain, end of story. No light for 2 days. I personally give them a bike to trace all the faults. Just what's going on. Mr. Minister, do a spot assessment to those areas. Not data. Sit by yourself and be able to compare. You know what's happening in the middle? Very well. Exactly. I can make a phone call to our friend or one of our friends. He will tell us straight away. No, they don't have it. They don't have it. You are trying your best, but the agents are not helping us. That's number one. Then the issue of this code telling us, okay, we have, from the supplementary performance bond of feeders, it's 0. This code, please. It's not here. Yeah, it's there. Can you look at the page? Summary performance of bond in feeders. You make it, BDC, Kaduna. You quoted different, hours of average performance, which is not the true reflection. It seems the discos and the NEC are collaborating together to make it look good for Nigerians. That is the simple truth about it. And of course, it's on the table of the minister. We accuse minister all the time. You are here, you give us this analysis, but it's not correct. It's not correct. I know of IPDC very well. She knows about that very well. It's not correct. Yes, it's not. It's not correct. So I know the day. For me,
he has AGDC, which is Abuja, 95%. BEDC, which is Benin, 83%. EEDC, which is Enugu, 70%.
And Amadi on AIT, I followed him all the time. Please consult him. Please consult him. It's very key. You are like mind. That's my view. And we represent Nigerians. And at the end of the day, myself and you, if we're not careful, we'll be stoned at home. Because they thought we are making so much money. Big Ike cannot sustain. We don't want it. As a Nigerian, we don't want it. Not now. As my colleague has said, it's not going to be possible. Wealth is there. Now, it's coming in. Government should look outside the box and see how we could, manage this crisis now. So for you as a minister, it's a challenge. Please, that's what we're asking for. And Nigerians, we have Nigerians, they are watching us now, and they know who are for them, who are not for them. And I have a good name to protect as well. So it's very key to us. Thank you so much.
do you get charged when there is no meter to tell your electricity usage? How do you get charged? For years now, I've been hearing people complaining and lamenting and all that. Then the politicians coming out to say, we are promising you this and promising you that. We will give you meters, we'll give you transformers, blah, 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 blah. And everybody's still calm. We do ask ourselves how, but we may never understand. Listen to that fraud. Adebayo Adelabu, your minister of darkness, explaining.
500 megawatt capacity with 4 turbines of 125 megawatts each. Only one at 125 megawatts was working. The remaining 375 were down for various reasons. Number one, no gas. Number two, they could not service the turbines. You understand? So it's not as if we cannot generate power. But what happened to our power resources? So these are the kind of money spent with other administrations. We have spent so much money on transmission. The transmission company of Nigeria today, the government has spent billions of dollars on it. I can tell you, all the projects started, 90% of those projects are not completed. They are still ongoing. I mentioned it in my previous speeches and interviews that we have over 120 TCM projects that are ongoing at 95%, 90%, 80% completion. And one peculiar thing about power projects is that you cannot energize if it's not 100% completed. So we have only spent those money. We have not really derived any advantage from the money, and the money has not made any impact on the sector. So why have we not completed those projects? So those are the issues of corruption that we are saying we need to eliminate. And corruption will always fight back. Since we have mentioned all this, they have been after me. They've been on my neck. Oh, remove Adelabu, replace Adelabu and all that. But we know it comes with reforms. When you are doing radical transformation and necessary reform, it will never be easy. We are prepared for all those negative name calling and dragging on the internet. It will not stop anything. Once we get to where we are going, we are satisfied. So we are aware of the corruption issue, and I can tell you that we have the trust and confidence with Mr. President, and is ready to stay with us to fight this corruption through. We have cartels, we have cabals. The band A that the disco man just mentioned that they enjoy about 85-90% of promise. Go and check. The demand for diesel by those band A has reduced. Those are the people that could afford diesel to their generators. Demand for generator services and even new generators have reduced. Are there no people in these businesses? So they are after us, but we are bent on reforming the sectors. Thank you for this comment on the corruption. You mentioned that I mentioned about 2 trillion required to turn around the sector. No. To turn around this sector, 2 trillion naira is just a patch sum. The 2 trillion I mentioned was even 3 trillion. And it was 2 trillion for the subsidy. After the band A, the subsidy required was about 2.9 trillion. Band A will bring in about 1 trillion. And we are left with about 1.9, which is 2 trillion. If government gives us 2 trillion today to be able to pay the subsidy, sincerely we won't touch subsidy again. We won't touch the tariff again. So the 2 trillion I mentioned is just to cover the subsidy shortfall. As it is today, 450 billion was made available in the budget for subsidy. So even if we were to reduce or eliminate that gap, we will have reviewed tariff for all banks, but we did not do that. So for this sector to be revived, government needs to spend nothing less than $10 billion on a yearly basis for the next 10 years because of the infrastructure requirement for stability in this sector. So the government cannot afford to do that. We must make this sector attractive to investors and to lenders. Everywhere in the world, government is not the only one spending on the sector. The sector is privatized. Government only subsidizes. So for us to attract such investment, the business must be attractive. The only way the business can be attractive is that there must be close to commercial pricing. The pricing shortfall must also be regularly funded by the government. That's why businessmen will put their money in. Why haven't you been able to sell all those discos that are in the hands of AMCON and other banks? No investor. But no investor will come and bring money if tariff is still at 66 naira and government is not paying subsidy. They will not come. But now that we have increased tariff for a band or a section of the consumers, there are interests being shown. And we will not wait for these discos to extend their investment to other banks, but it will take time. And you don't even have the money. We're going to embark on bundling the discos along state lines so that we can sell along state line. Apart from selling along state line, we are introducing what is called franchising. If there are some areas that the discos don't want to invest, we can get an interested investor, put money there.
Nuisance Lele.
Peculiar mess, Adebayo. You saw that talk? They're like beer parlor talk. Oh. This was supposed to be talks that is backed with statistics, number. But in Nigeria, no. Nigerian politicians with real numbers. They just pluck numbers from the air. We need 10 billion every year for Nigeria to enjoy electricity. We need 10 billion investment every year for the next 10 years. So they need $100 billion. Then they started talking all those jargons there. He's saying none of them is backed by any numerical or statistical evidence. Nothing, just manufactured numbers. And that is the country that they told you will be great. But I like this guy. That one, know they hide and they finish. It's just like, we don't say you are privileged. You don't understand how these things they feel. You, Mr. Minister. Listen.
Thank you. We're talking about the current tariff increase that has been done very recently. Is this tariff increase a solution to the challenges faced by NESI? Is it a solution to this problem, or is it just a reduction in the government subsidy exposure? What is it? What does it fundamentally address? Does it just address the exposure of the government to the subsidy, which would have been over 3 trillion, by charging only 15% of the customers to reduce the subsidy level? Or does it go ahead to address the fundamental problem of the lack of solvency within the entire sector? Because like what one of the presenters had said, it's mainly to rob Peter to pay Paul, and this time is to pay the government to reduce its subsidy exposure. But it's even worse, because what we are doing is absolutely injustice and discriminatory. I think the challenge before us, like Senator Ariba has said, is really to come think out of the box and find a fundamental solution to the entire...
The argument shouldn't be there at all, because they take money in advance, like MTN and NITA. So liquidity should not be their problem. It should not be advanced in an argument. But what I would rather is, you can laugh, but I'm telling you, this is very serious. You devalue the currency, you increase the cost of petrol. Now you are scrambling around trying to give palliative. What palliative are you going to give us now if you push through this tariff? It's the same thing. We are the same people. We are the same people, but you are still pushing us. Just to look, your solution is hand this electricity sector to Siemens. Beg them to take over. They have the capacity to do it. Beg them to take over. All the people you are trying to bring in, they are Nigerians like us. They don't have the capacity. They will still come back to you through the back door to look for another fund, one fund to one another. from central bank or other institutions. Why are they are not credible? They are not credit worthy. That's why the money deposited banks are not giving them loan. But now you are trying to transfer that to us, customers. Minister, you are not going to be minister forever. You will become like us, maybe in the next 4 years. And you are going to face this problem. I'm just telling you. No, you are not like me now. You are privileged. No, you are privileged. You are in the executive sector of the government. So, but I'm still telling you, Minister, those policies are not working. You have to go back to the drawing board. Yes. Rethink about them. Come back with a better solution is beg these companies, beg Siemens or ABB to take over this. They have the resources to run this thing, operate and hand over to you. But for now, it is not working. It's not working. Because, look, I was in Nigeria when UPE was introduced. And the basis of it, at the end of it, is that Nigeria should embark on industrialization to absorb excess products of universities and polytechnics. Now, we started. We established paper mills. We established NNPC. We established paper companies. We established sugar companies. All those are now steel companies. All those are now sold. All those jobs are gone. And now, the remaining industries in existence, with this policy, some 50% of them will go under. And you are creating more unemployment in the country. This is a reality. This is a reality because our products are no longer competitive. Our competitors from abroad will bring in and sell. Nigerian jobs will be lost. We will create jobs abroad. So, it's an argument.
Which is true. They will spend borrowed money to build an institution to serve the people, and then they will sell it as scraps to their friends in the name of, what do you call that thing again? Privatization, something like that. Then they will buy those companies as scraps with the promise that they were going to revive them and they are going to serve Nigerians, only for them to turn around and begin to demand money to make the supposed institutions work. But let me put it to you. In Nigeria, the Nigerian government was not supposed to be involved anymore in generation and distribution of electricity, including manufacturing of meters and all that. And it's actually their law. Their law says the Nigerian government is no longer in charge of distribution. They sold that to the transition companies. They call them TCN, Transition Company of Nigeria. Then they sold the generating companies, which are supposed to be governments, generating plants, power generating plants, built with borrowed money, part of the debt that you are still paying back. They sold them to their friends and gave them different names. Eku Electricity, Ibadan Electricity, Shokoto Electricity, Kaduna Electricity Company, and all of that stuff. They sold them to their pals. But the Ministry of Power in Nigeria continued to still directly fund them. On one hand, they will cry back and say, our problem, the reason why we have not been able to generate electricity in Nigeria is that we sold your electricity companies plants, but these companies that bought them, they didn't have enough money to turn them around. They are now looking towards the government, since they were bought by politicians. They are now looking for government to give them money or stand as a guarantor for them so that they can go and borrow money in banks. The criteria, the financial health, that is the criteria for selling the government properties to this, they say government no get business in business, right? Than just to make the environment business friendly. But all they do is that they sell them to their pals as scraps. Okay? They may build this power plant with, for example, $1.5 billion. It's been mismanaged already, overpriced. Then they will sell it to their pal, who is not electricity, I mean, is not a power generating company, but it's just because he's a Nigerian politician and there's government property to be sold. So he wants to buy it. He has no money, but they have put his name forward as the person who wants to buy it. And guess how much they want to sell a property or a plant they built with $1.5 billion. They may be selling it to him for $1.5 million. Are you hear me right? 1.5 million. And that's even being generous. Not 1.5 billion, no, 1.5 million. They may even sell it for $2 million. Imagine buying a whole power plant with $2 million. Something that is worth how much? 1.something billion. Are you not automatically a billionaire that way? Now, to now have money to maintain it and let it serve the people, give them 24 hours electricity, they don't get money. So they still need Nigeria to come and do shorty for them, since they are the ones in that government. They are the ones who are the friends of government. And Nigerians, they are the losers, unfortunately. Listen to what Peculiar Mess had to say about that, just before we move on.
MGN messages, sorry. What's the principal amount?
993.
993 is the principal amount, which is about $1 trillion, while the 300 billion is the interest, which was agreed upfront. That's for the GEMCOs. But for the gas supply companies, we are owing about $1.3 billion. So now, how do we pay? 3 forms of payment. Number one, we have appealed to the Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister for the Economy, as well as the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, through Mr. President, that there must be some cash injection. We need to pay some cash so that these generating companies will continue in business. Number two, we know we cannot pay everything 100% in cash. It's not possible. So we'll pay what is provided in the budget. I think there's need for supplementary budget to be included in supplementary budget. Then number two is, we're going to give them some guaranteed debt instruments, which is a promise of deferred payments. It could be promissory notes. Promissory notes that over the next 2, 3, 4 years, we're going to be paying you down. That will give them some assurance and comfort. The number three, for the gas companies, I think the Minister of Petroleum, Minister of State Petroleum Gas, is also discussing with them, and they have agreed on them having access to gas wells so that they can use this to defray the debt over time, or even part of the royalty to pay down on the gas. Because these people are businessmen. If you are not paid for past supply, how do we expect you to continue supply? Which is why the chairman mentioned that it is by miracle that these jet companies are still producing power with the level and magnitude of debt that is on our neck as a government. So, the last one is the fact that what is the way out? What is the way out? Sir, I've told you about the way out. Number one is to resolve this liquidity crisis, to ensure that the industry is liquid and to make it attractive to new investors. Number one, to also make it attractive to bank lenders that can provide money to improve infrastructure. Yeah. Then, number three is infrastructure improvement across the three segments. The first segment of the value chain, 5 segments, which is the gas, I'm coming, yes, infrastructure, that's part of it. The gas pipeline need to be fixed, and new compressors, new, new compressors must be, but to ensure that the pressure is of good quality to the generating companies. The number two is the generating companies themselves. We need to revive all our generating companies. The NDPHC power companies must be revived to the level they were meant to be. We must also encourage the private generating companies to invest in improving their own infrastructure. Then we are also investing in hydroelectric power. We just added Zungeru of 700 megawatts. that will also boost power production. We are also working on Kachibila, which is completed at 40 megawatts. To complete evacuation of the remaining 30 out of 40, we are already evacuating 10. And we have 26 small hydro power dams. Hydro dams that want to put down as power production plants. And these are small plants, so small dams from 1 megawatt up to 15 megawatt. Then lastly, sir, the renewable energy, which is what I've also mentioned, was we are also diversifying our energy mix to ensure that we're able to provide energy to rural dwellers and to some communities in the north and in the southwest, along with those in the coastal area with wind energy. We're already discussing on signing an agreement with the 3 megagig.
Nuisance Lele.
He's such a terrible liar. You know, when somebody see that, I say, I think we should try and tap into the wind energy, into this so and so, and somebody is seated there then to say, is the minister who was supposed to be telling you that since I became minister, this is no longer about what we're going to do, it is about what we are doing. So far so good, this is what we have been doing, and show workings with numbers, verifiable one. But for those who should know Thiefnubu and APC very well, they are not friends of statistics. So they would rather manufacture them from the thin air. And they would want you to believe that. By the time you start probing them, you said, but what happened is that so and so does not correspond with what you said. No, I didn't say it exactly. I was just trying to describe. How could you be a minister of darkness, of a giant of a country called giant of Africa, a supposed the crippled giant though, right? And it was just all talk like beer parlor talk. After the entire talk, even while the talk was going on, electricity tripped off in the chamber, that they had to wait for some minutes to put on the generator before they could continue. That's why I call him Minister of Darkness. If you believe any jack shit from what he said, well, myself and one true emperor, we do have some landed properties inside the ocean with an airport as well that we want to sell very cheap though, okay? It is just 15,000 pounds sterling. If you believe any jack nonsense that guy said. But that's what they do. Just say it to them. If anybody doubts it, accuse them of not being patriotic, of not believing in Nigeria, of always being happy that Nigeria is going down. Let's go do that. They must believe by fire, by force. That's what I see in them. But we won't. We won't. Meanwhile, I don't know if you have seen this. How many of you have seen that video where the EFCC chairman was talking about an internet fraudster, 17-year-old internet fraudster, that he was so mesmerized and shocked that he has so much knowledge about IT. Nigeria at a finish. And I am here to tell you, okay? Number one, the number one law officer, supposed law officer for the EFCC, which is their chairman, had no knowledge about IT. He is mesmerized that an internet fraudster, a Yahoo boy, was able to hack, I don't know, his bank account or something using his BVN. Somebody that belonged to jail. I mean, he's a Yahoo boy. There are brilliant minds, young, who actually really went for real training when it comes to IT. But here is what the EFCC chairman had to say. And I've started seeing some of the Donda Fs in Nigeria. Wow, because now don't they watch too much movie, Abby? If he was in America, FBI will hire him. Haba. FBI hire a Yahoo boy. I've heard some of you who said, Osh Poppy will be hired by the FBI if he was an American. That's how deluded some of you are. Very, very deluded. Internet fraudsters. Those whose job is to plant, phishing, hacking content or what have you to you, to steal from you. They are criminals. They are not IT experts. Nigeria is a place where you believe that being a Yahoo boy makes you an IT expert. And your government official believes that too. Oh, that boy is he has brain. There are real IT experts, young, trained, that will take any opportunity to perform wonders. Not a Yahoo boy. But what do they know? Listen to your EFCC chairman in a deluded gun country.
I brought in my Lagos office a 17-year-old boy. I was sharing also with them, who is studying history, 200 level. He's not doing anything science. The guy sat in my office in Lagos and demonstrated some things to me on my laptop. He asked for my account, my number. He knows I gave him my number. Through my number, he got my BVN. He said, "Okay, he now mentioned the name of my account number to me and the bank." I didn't tell him anything. Yes. 17-year-old boy, 200 level student, studying history and anthropology. Now, that's not even the issue. The problem is, I see crime in that. I also see opportunities in it. So if you leave these guys, if we don't make them know that this thing they are doing is wrong, if you leave them, they will continue to see that thing as a culture, as a way of life to make money. If I don't investigate them, if I don't prosecute them, now what we do, on our own, we plead for light sentences for them. Because it's also going to be wrong for us to close our eyes. We plead for light sentences. Why? So that we can reorientate them. And that's part of the things we're doing. What joy will I derive in sending a 19-year-old boy to jail? You have destroyed his future, you have destroyed his career. Sometimes, most time they give them options of fine and all of that after conviction. So we bring them back, we lecture them, we talk to them. This particular boy, when he was done, I said, look, Oga, I can make 10 million now. He said, I will demonstrate to you, I will move money from your account to my account now. I said, no, don't that in my office. Don't let them trace that to this place. Don't. And he was actually ready to do it. In fact, when he opened the system and he was like, I didn't give him the key to my laptop. And he had access. He forgot that he was even in my office. He forgot I was around him. He was just, he got lost in that art. And I said, okay, now, why do you do this? Why? You know what he told me? He says both parents are farmers. They couldn't go to farm because of insecurity. He has two younger ones, one in GS2 and one in SS2. He's the one feeding his parents. He's the one responsible for the payment of the tuition of his younger ones. So what do we do? In as much as I want to do my job, like I said, I saw a big gate in that guy. I said, okay, from today, if you are able to get out of this, we will do our work. And whatever happens, I will certainly take up the responsibility of your schooling. Told my family, we are going to do that. I spoke to one of my friends who is also ready to help to take up the schooling of the SSS2 guy. So I'm still looking for someone who will take up the one for the GS2. Maybe Sakuna will help me do that. So these are the challenges we are facing. And so for people to just sit down out there and begin to condemn EFCC, they don't even have an iota of what we're doing. You don't even understand the enormity of the problems. You don't. Now we are coming up with what we call the Cybercrime Research Center as part of the project in our new academy, where we'll bring some of these boys during the vacation, the way they are capturing them, the way we have for one-night training school. We're also going to come up with a hub that will help us to channel those skills. You can imagine somebody who never studied science. Imagine his proficiency in handling systems, hacking websites. Now, assuming that guy is that skilled, is challenged towards positive things, you can imagine the contribution he will make towards the economic development.
Nuisance lele.
Nigeria. I want to see where I can even start from, because some of you watching me, you have that same mentality too. Thiefnubu said sometimes in 2022 in Warri, he said, all those who call Yahoo boys, don't call them Yahoo boys. We will train them on computers, on how to make chips, computer chips. Ladies and gentlemen, a Yahoo boy or an hacker that is hacking hacking to rob people, they are not IT experts, yo. And there is nothing like if they can train them, don't be daft. Because I know some of you have that same mentality. We say that all the time. If it's America now, how did this boy manage to steal all this money? Doing Yahoo, how did he do it? Man, if Nigeria is a real place, this young boy, they're supposed to hire him to teach them. Listen to this, typical Nigerians, to teach them how to catch Yahoo boys. I want there. Yahoo is called phishing. Looking for your mugu and breaking into a financial system through whatever weak link that you can get. They are not IT experts. You can learn how to be an hacker. You understand? If your own hacking, there are real hackers. You know the type of, the kind of hackers that you probably think government always look for. They don't look for them, they jail them. And these are the ones who can hack into the most fortified government firewalled spaces. Hackers that can take over entire security architecture of a country and begin to redirect it and do whatever they can. Those are the kind of hackers that FBI, CIA, they want to know how you do it. How did you do it? Before they send you to your jail that you will never see the light again. Go and check it properly. That mentality of you thinking a Yahoo boy is an IT expert. That it be like what do you call the director of FBI in America? Grabbing a microphone, talking about how an American 19-year-old is a man, is not a boy. Arrested for fraudster. Arrested for fraud. Got invited to his own office. Imagine the director of FBI in America telling Americans, this young boy, I brought him to my office. I gave him my laptop. And if you see what he started doing. So number one, that the EFCC chairman is so mesmerized by what a Yahoo boy, internet fraudster can do, to the point that he decided to adopt him. Tells you everything you need to know about that contraption and everybody in charge of it. So which means your EFCC chairman self, na puruntu. Because people, they carry laptop, they carry computer, nobody say they know jack shit about it. The EFCC chairman of Nigeria saw Yahoo boy. So does that mean that EFCC they don't have their own engineers and hackers? I would expect that. FBI, CIA, they don't go and hire people to come and help them find something they are looking for. No. They do it themselves. They have hackers. The hackers that would then be like, they are the best in the world. You know that kind of thing? You working with the American government as what? As the FBI? Or what do they call them again? The financial security, something in America too. They have their hackers. They have their scientists. They have their own internal investigators. They have their foreign collaborators that they can actually get anything from. So EFCC chairman in his office, mesmerized, grabbed his computer, gave it to a Yahoo boy that was arrested for Yahoo. And the Yahoo boy, he said, why are you doing Yahoo? I'm doing Yahoo to sponsor myself to school. I am studying history. That's even a lie. But anyway, let's manage it. A 17-year-old is studying history and he's doing Yahoo. So he's using the money to send himself to school, as well as his siblings in secondary schools. So the #1 financial crime officer in Nigeria is so mesmerized that he decided to adopt the boy and his family. Lamba Amuluribu, Lamba Wiri. They say things that they want you to hear, even if they have to kind of ridicule the supposed institution. There are young people, young engineers in Nigeria. I'm talking about gurus, genius, young souls that are like experts in IT. Okay, without talking about hacking, people who take people's hack people's details through their mobile. That's hacking. That's criminal. That's what the boy is doing. The EFCC chairman shouldn't brag about that so that he can look good. But people say the guy love the media so much. He's been living in the shadow for a while. As far back as the time of Maguluta crook, Olukayode is a thief himself. Okay, he was indicted among those who. He's been in the EFCC for a while, so don't get deceived by this posturing of Olukayode. It's a matter of time. You are going to probably know more of him. But he's lying. Okay? He is lying, or is a total dunce who is just doing things to play to the gallery. All right? You've seen their policemen before. Horrible. Very horrible. By the way, take a look at these clowns that we found on the streets yesterday. The Yeye men. They won't give up.
We are here this morning to address an important national issue. We said we have a responsibility. We have responsibility. Now they are attacking us. You can see the EFCC said we don't have rights. We said they don't have rights to express our...
The incident occurred when about 200 protesters attempted to stage a protest at the building of the anti-graft agency, but were chased away by the officials with tear gas. The group went ahead to continue the protest at about 2 kilometers away from the headquarters, but the security personnel traced and nabbed some.
It is impossible. EFCC must obey court order. EFCC must obey court order. Yes. Yahya Bello.
Placards carrying protesters conveying several messages that Yahya Bello should be prosecuted and not persecuted. Earlier, an anti-Yahya Bello's group, Kogi Conscious Liberation Movement, submitted a petition to the commission calling on President Bola Tinubu to ask Governor Usman Ododo to hand over the former governor to the officials of the anti-graft agency for prosecution.
Compel on Yahya Bello to come. He's hiding there in Lugard House. He moves when Ododo moves. The governor convoy is not immune. It is the person that is occupying the office of the governor that has immunity.
Yes. And we are saying that we shall not rest until justice is being served on those who have taken away our common patrimony. Simply what Yahya Bello to do is to answer to those charges. We are not concerned about renting crowds or getting people to speak in our favor. No.
On Wednesday, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission had served a copy of the charge sheet of alleged fraud to the tune of 80 billion naira against the immediate past governor of Kogi State through his legal.
Olenia, Yahya Bello, Olenia, Yaya Bello, ole nye 80.2 billion.
Ole nye.
You squander ram.
Ole nye.
1.1 billion.
Ole nye.
Just for school fees.
Ole nye.
God go punish you.
Ole nye.
Ogun go kill you.
Ole nye.
Ole buruku.
Ole nye.
Ole were nye.
Ole nye.
Ole nye. Ole nye. Yaya Bello, ole nye. Ole nye. Ole nye. Yaya Bello, ole nye.
Ole nye. Ole nye. Yaya Bello, ole nye. Now that is from the stable of Yaya Bello, right? Because from what we heard last, right? Even the Yaya Bello, I told you the last time here, where I did say that a few times. I said, despite all we have been reading about Yaya Bello and his looting, they haven't frozen. I mean, they haven't frozen his account. That's so strange. Somebody now said, "Oh, they're frozen the accounts now." I said, "Are you sure?" I don't think so, because there is a WhatsApp chat where Yaya Bello, Ododo as Olodo, as well as some of their, as leakers, they were panicking about the Tribunal case. They are in the Tribunal. And they boldly said, Oga said he would take care of them, that he's managed to get some dollars change. Who is Oga? Yaya Bello. Yaya Bello is promising that he will make sure that all the judges who are bribed and paid in dollars. And they were celebrating. I don't know if you have seen that, right? They were happy to see Oga said. So where is Yaya Bello getting money from? But they said when Ododo move, Yaya Bello moves. So which means, indeed, Yaya Bello still have access, unfettered, unhindered access to the Kogi state resources. Unfortunately, Kogi people, ndo.
If our credits are open and people need a car, they don't have to pay 4 million cash at the same time. Jimovia, you better think about this. And promoting more credit for this economy.
Nuisance, Lily. That was a Kolu in those time when the asteroid pretty much was very active. He was talking about credit. That's another lie they are telling people now. That you can go to the bank and get some money to, they call it a customer, what do you call that again? Consumer credit. That's what Kolu called it. Consumer credit is that you can go to your bank, instead of you stealing 50 million naira to buy a car. Just go to your bank, okay? And then your bank will give you the money to finance the car for you. Baba is already existing in Nigeria. I was surprised that this has even been existing in Nigeria for more than 15 years now. But Kolu is trying to make it look like it's going to be a policy of his government, which they never really had any chance for. They have no plan for it. I heard that some of the companies in Nigeria, some of them, they do give you credit facilities to buy cars, to buy bikes, to buy houses, mortgages, and all that. They exist in Nigeria. I was like, oh, great. But some said it's been existing for a very long time. So I didn't know. I just knew about workers who pull their resources together, and then, from there they will be able to take a huge loan to go buy whatever they want to buy, and the money will be deducted directly from their salaries. So I know about that, but just to know that they do credit consumers financing too. They say, oh, they do it. You just have to show that you've got a work, you have a job, and then you show your income, and then they will give you that credit. But as for Kolu, he made it more like, oh yeah, we can now do it in my name. No, they can't do it in his name. It's just word with nothing. So to those of you who are from the contraption, especially those of you from the mega shitty, I just thought I should remind you that even if a lot of you are complaining today, lamenting, and then, trying to make us feel that we have to, for some reason, right? We have to feel sorry for you. Unfortunately, the Abobakus of Lagos. I hope you remember this. And therefore, you would have to kind of live with your consequences. I know. It's a reminder, you get. You see, when they said that the Igbos cannot vote in Lagos, it was real. A lot of them are trying to deny that today and saying that the Igbos, they love to claim victims. They love to claim victims. Baba, not only did Thiefnubu and APC, Egbekegbe, brought religious politics, which is that of Muslim tickets, as well as the divisive religious rhetorics from these guys. Baba, they involved the Isheshe people. For the first time in my life, I saw Oro, Isheshe people, publicly got involved in Thiefnubu's kind of politics. Specifically, they brought out all these white-wearing lunatics, these idiots from Lagos. All these Shiri, Olori Brukus who are destroying and then, sort of disgracing the Yoruba tradition and culture. And Olori Bruku about the rest of Yoruba she anyway. So those of us who know the history of Lagos very well, before they steal the land of the Ijebus, the land of the Aworis from outside that same Lagos Island to form this your new Lagos, that Lagos you are seeing today. Your Lagos is left at that Lagos Island next to the water. But in order for them to create their fake Lagos that they want to make look like, as it is, a sort of adulterated Yoruba culture and tradition, which is what they display mostly. Unfortunately, Thiefnubu came and actually exposed that. Or more because of Thiefnubu and Sanwo-Iku, they forced Yoruba culture and tradition. They brought that out. And they brought it out not for any other thing, but just to stop the Igbos. You won't believe it, or you have forgotten. They didn't just stop the Igbos from voting in Lagos. They carry Uru out. They brought out all this fetish-looking lunatics, wrap themselves in white, from Isaleko, and they were actually performing rituals that their ancestors should help them. Feel the Igbos in their homes. They must not come out on the day of election, so that you will remember whatever it is today, just so you know how far APC went. And when you look at people today who will never forget that time, what they did in Lagos, it is beyond saying don't come and vote. It was raw. It was never seen before. And that is why, if you don't understand why their hatred continue to grow, is because they were so scared, they were so shit scared that their bazaar in Lagos was coming to an end. Their free bid, their free money, their Agberoism and the rest of that was coming to an end. They brought in the Isheshe people to come and curse the Igbos. Igbos, they said the Igbos are enemies of Yoruba because of Sanwo-Iku and Thiefnubu. How far is it going on with you now? I don't feel sorry for any Igbo that is still pretty much adamant saying that none of this is real, as well as the attacks that they unleashed on your businesses in Lagos. I don't feel sorry for you. You see, these guys, to them, it is like the fight of their lives. If Lagos should drop from their hands, they are finished. You will never see them again. Some of them will die miserably, wretchedly. And that's why they can't let it go. So they put up this display, just so you remember, I'm a Yoruba man, and this doesn't represent my culture or tradition. It is an adulteration of the Yoruba culture and tradition for one man, a drug dealer from God knows where. A reminder, Sha, so you know, okay? So that when you look around today and say, I don't know why all these Igbos are complaining, why are they always complaining? This is why. How much hatred could you actually promote just to get to power, to go this far? Listen carefully of what they are saying. If you don't understand Yoruba, somebody will interpret it for you. Now listen. So what you're saying there is that, listen, you're speaking something up, right? It's like that. We are blocking all the Igbos at home today. All the Igbos, all the enemies of Lagos. We are ancestors. We are blocking them in their homes, so they must not be able to come out. Our ancestor, Sanwo-Olu will win. APC will win. All the Igbos in Lagos, they are hereby blocked and they are going to stay in their houses. So, that's what they are doing. I hope all those people are buying a liter of petroleum for 15 naira per liter now. All those old, what do you call it? All those old Sifun Laurent, hungry twat, hungry touts. I call them hungry touts because all they have is money. Poor souls. These are poor people with money. Okay? And Thiefnubu will kind of drag all of them into this. Is unable to actually reduce their sufferings now. They will do it again, no? Don't think any of them will have any regret. Now you, where they believe, say, you want to exist in the same country with lunatics like that, when a system that enables them, or the system they enable is actually working against you, and you still want to exist like that with them, get rid of them. That's the point. Once the power is taken away from these lunatics, all this irrelevant will no longer be relevant. Just so you know, okay? And this is part of what they did, just to gain power, or to come and punish you, make your lives miserable, while you continue to ask yourself, why? Why now? Why can't they? See, children is in that same shithole, the mega shitty of Lagos. Children, then conditioned. Last night, Aduke was here. I don't know if Aduke is on this afternoon, but she's likely going to see this video later anyway, if she's not seeing it already. Aduke, you were so concerned about the type of education being given to our children in that contraption, which most of the time actually doesn't really empower them. Okay, it only it's sort of engineers them to behave in a certain manner called social conditioning. We are not being educated to be independent. We are being educated just to be able to perform a social function that they have designed for us. Most of it just to keep us under that, under that slavery, I call it. You need to see what and where these children are exposed to. And then you will ask yourself, are they raising the future leaders? Or they are raising the future slaves? Go to Nigerian schools, see where they are educating the children and the type of education they are giving them. And the first question that will come to your mind, or should come to your mind, should be, are they raising the future leaders of Nigeria, or they are raising the future slaves for Nigeria, ruiners? I bet you the answer is going to be that of the latter. They are raising the future slaves. And that's why you see a lot of them who can speak grammar. They can speak English. But when it comes to intelligence or critical thinking, it's no longer their forte. Okay? Because they are not conditioned to think smart, to think deep, to think critically. Instead of thinking critically or thinking deep, why not go spiritual and let God do it? Don't bother yourself. God can handle the whole thing. It is a Nigerian thing. You will see educated people that can't really think. It's too much. So they will look for the easiest way, the easy way out. God said, you know that God said, you know that God can do, you know that God, I detest that. And that's why some of them feels like, I don't like God. No, I don't like Nigerian God. Nigerian God is fake. It is a sky daddy. Nigerian God is a God that actually threatens you. It's a God I want you to fear. It's a God they want you to fear. Nigerian God can blind you because you are looking what you shouldn't be looking at. Nigerian God, right, can kill you for asking your pastor to be responsible. Yeah, because thou shalt not touch my anointed. Nigerian God can suddenly just kill you because somebody somewhere told the Nigerian God that he should kill you so that he can prove to the rest of the world that that Nigerian God is very powerful. Somebody is praying that. The Nigerian God is the God that punishes you. It doesn't reward you. Do you understand? So it is the God that destroys, that kills, so that he can scare the rest of us so that we can obey that God. Unfortunately, I don't believe in that crap, your sky daddy. Okay? Because I want to believe that if those who want you to fear the man they call your father, I'm a child of God. And I believe that too. I actually believe that I'm a child of God. And God is my father. See, my dad is dead now. My mom is dead. So definitely as an orphan, I can get adopted by God, the real one, I believe, in my head, okay? So I'm his son. As a child of God, I can never do anything wrong. Even if I do anything wrong, my father will forgive me, not kill me, or destroy me, or punish me. Which kind of father be that? Which kind of useless God be that? The one will be saying, go make me poor, so that to show to all of you to fear him. Why? The one we go kill me just to make you afraid of God. Nigerian God, it is only Nigerian God. Fear God, fear God. And somebody said, no, don't fear God in Nigeria. Fear the criminal politicians. And you should even, you see, when you fear the Nigerian politicians, the criminals there, right? That's not going to be enough. You need to fear those who don't fear Nigerian politicians. They are more dangerous. If they tell you, well, they are the same, let's just pray for them. Those people are more dangerous than those Nigerian politicians. Okay? So yeah, there is no God coming to help you or fight for you anywhere. You would have to do it yourself. I mean, so your sky daddy doesn't do anything. Okay, your sky daddy is like a shigidi. Your Nigerian God is like that of a shigidi. You know, statue. You know they see, you know they hear. You know they breathe, you know they shop. You know get life, you know get anything. You have only created it in your head. It's a lifeless God, Nigerian God. Stop threatening people with that. You understand? Okay? The God that wants you to be so afraid because he just killed somebody. God, why? God told me that he just wanted us to fear him. That's why he killed the Shinagoro. Hey, I fear God then. No? Hey, may God no kill me. Oh. Nigerian God. And if you're offended by what I just said, it's probably because I can't help you. I understand, like, you know, I can't help you if you don't get any of this logic that I've just said. There is no fucking Nigerian God. It's fake. And that's why you have to kind of become your own God in this instance. If you want something to happen. It's unfortunate, but we will never stop sharing that. Okay? So I was thinking, maybe I should even do it, right? More have a gist, right? Like 1 or 2 calls and all that. Because some of you now have been triggered. You want to say something. I've been seeing few calls coming in and dropping off, right? So I will. Let me see if I can open that up for you. I'll leave it at that. So I was supposed to give you 2 topic, and I think I've actually given you even more today. So I don't know. I think this must be Idris. Is that you? Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, brother. Sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, hello. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you, Idris. So they said that your purchasing power, your lives in the last 1.5 months has improved so substantially. You are calling from Nigeria? Ikorodu to be precise. Is that right? Where are you?
Proper. Yeah, exactly, sir. propaganda
So how
la
is it
maje.
going?
That's
The last 1.5 months. Setting power from Wala to Jojo.
any propaganda. Propaganda la maje. And amaje waste me. La maje waste me. So we keep telling them, and it is now down to us that this is what we are going to repeat for the next 8 years. And if God will allow them, it should continue like that. Because it has now get to the stage that don't know anybody more. Let us face it. We are now facing the reality. We are now facing it. Should be in the Friday yesterday at one of the filling stations there. Should be two grown family men.
Is that what happened at
They were fighting
2 nights ago? I think it started from 2 nights
No.
ago.
That Ileko is after Yanapaja. I'm talking about Friday.
Oh,
I'm talking after Olepan.
Okay.
Then, so they were two grown old men. I saw them like this. They were fighting. They were fighting just because of
At the station,
they were fighting at filling station. They were fighting, and I looked at them. It's not like say and say. I know that these people, they are APC crumb chasers. I won't say they have been they are sleeping and waking up like APC.
I don't know why miserable people are attracted to APC, Sha. Like, I've actually seen those who are associated with that party, and I'm like, apart from the actual the clothes where they put on, we go make them look like somebody will be human being. But I'm talking about horrible people, criminals. Why are they attracted to APC?
Another thing,
you see APC, you see
another thing, sir. All this highway,
Idris.
Sir, another thing, sir. All these highway sweepers. Do you know that before they can collect that 20,000 naira job, they must be an APC member.
No, you must be APC member, or else you cannot work as a road sweeper in Lagos.
So now as of today now, Ojo Road, there's serious training, and I can see some of them they are just sweeping, and I can see that think now. Think. Now, what government saying, all of you go and kill again to collect one kg of rice. And that 1 kg of rice will let my Jesse come out Abuja, in another festive period. Why don't you go? Why don't you just think? Now, 2 days ago, it happens at Obalende, that one police, or is it probably one DSS, or because they are now trying to dribble that thing among their sister agency that DSS one man was shot. Why he was on the street? No, not Ilepo. This one happened at Obalende that Ikoyi.
See, a lot of things happened in the last 24 hours, especially in something happened at Ilepo, which is a major one.
Yes, that's Ilepo.
That they set up the whole market on fire.
Yes. That one is after Yanapaja.
Yeah, because of Loto between a Hausa guy and a Yoruba.
Yes.
What do you call Loto agents? So what happened at Obalende?
Yes.
Because I think is that the one that they said that at a filling station, a security agent shot person and killed one man. Is that the one?
Yes.
Because of petroleum too, right?
Exactly. And sir, it happens beside because I used to go to VI a lot. It happens beside that where Rosu Dodiri did interview for this Domino Pizza. You know Domino Pizza?
Yeah.
Yes, it happens just like 2 or 3 minutes walk to that place. That's where it actually happened. Because I was in England, I was in Ireland.
A DSS officer shot a civilian
exactly
because they were arguing over
yes, it just happened. It happened that you know our Nigerian people now that they just people are on the queue. They just say, hey, they were like, so I believe that those people will not say that like you can't. We've been on the queue. We've been on the queue for long that you can't.
And then the next thing, they shot them. Anyway, I think Idris is having a bit of a network issue. So getting shot and killed at the filling station. Imagine you go into the filling station. I want to go and buy fuel. Darling, I'll be back in, when I'm back, I want to go and buy petrol. I heard that the total along so and so is now selling. Only for your wife to say, okay, there, just take it easy, don't fight, you. And then the next phone call is going to be, hello, are you Mrs. Dear? I say, yeah, I'm Dear. They don't kill your Dear. Where? Station. Hello there.
Hello, brother me.
Baba, how are you, sir?
I'm fine. Maiyegun, General.
Yes, sir.
It's Friday.
Very well, though. Thank God it's Friday, by the way. So
we go kill ourselves.
How are you getting ready for weekend?
My brother, what more now? The atmosphere and weather might be miserable, but we thank God for the constant light.
And we are always grateful.
And water. If you open your tap, water they run. Waiting else now.
But a lot of too. So we should thank God. You know how they do in Nigeria?
Why?
They say a bag of rice is now 85,000 naira. Let us clap for Thiefnubu. Ladies and gentlemen,
I want to use
petroleum is now 1,500 naira.
He's working. His economic policies are working.
So let's clap for those who have kind of make it look like it's not a luxury to have lights. It's not a luxury to be able to have water in your house. It's not a luxury to be in your own community. We should clap for them. Baba, here we are. They said the Nigerian life have improved so much, substantially. But nobody tell us. Or your people don't call you, say things don't change.
My brother, the worst thing you can ask anybody from there is, how on a day? You don't give the person the floor.
Straight up.
That call now, you go last 1 hour now.
Hey.
You can't just make the mistake of asking how on a day.
Go do mistake or go to mistake reply. When one of them say, hello, you can't say I.
Hi. Ha.
I can.
My brother. Let me use a quick incident that happened recently, to state how I still feel about, that the place that we call Nigeria. Imagine during EFCC siege on Yahya Bello's house. Margo, I believe you don't watch detective films now from God knows when. SWAT, all those things. Now, tell me, I beg, tell me for all those movies where they watch, Hawaii Five for SWAT, this one, that one. Once police don't seal property or Homeland Security, FBI, name it, all those agencies. Once they don't see, even let us use P. Daddy's house as an example. This raid where they do recently for Puff Daddy house here. Now tell me, how will you condone? You don't take tape, cover up, building everything. Should anyone have entered there again?
No, they dare not. How you want to enter? If you want to force yourself,
how you want to enter? It's just like that happening in California now. They now say governor of California one can't enter with the enter. Like, who you be?
Like.
So for that thing to have happened, that in a new close of the rot of that country, thief day somewhere. Person can't come with government paraphernalia and paparazzi and the rest. Opinion, enter there. Everybody they look. Collect the thief. Put for motor. Drive out under the guise of immunity. And these idiots will be EFCC too. Why should they have allowed any vehicle into that street again?
Because it is Nigeria now. They are all big men.
So my brother,
and I see when I was coming to work this morning, right? When I was coming to this office, right? So I had a live broadcast on my phone on Facebook, okay? So then I was talking about you know, us not being chased by the police or nobody. In fact, it will be like nobody they look at you if you are driving your car, for instance, right? Nobody they look at you.
Yeah,
They look at you, they look at you. Okay. So if if it is nobody they see you and you get letter in a single month, you have to pay about £200 in fines. Nobody will tell you next month to behave.
So of course, no.
I said, but in Nigeria, I said that's why some of us when they hear they talk say some of us can't live in the UK. You can't live out. Some of you cannot live in the UK. You will say you like to be big men and all of that because they believe, and they will say it too as well. They will say your money, the best place to enjoy your money is to go to
Nigerian now.
Because they believe that you can get away with anything if you have that.
You can bend the law, you can do anything.
You can bend the law, you can
know.
break it, you can slap a police officer and they will still say sorry to you. But you dare not try that here. You will be gone in months. Here you get.
Hold on, no. You know here one House of Rep. No, I think he used to be a House of Rep member.
Right.
But he was making a request for security personnel because he was going home for Christmas. Man, do you know what this man was requesting for?
What?
He said whether 12 policemen, 6 Mopol, and 2 DSS. He even had what do they call them? Civil defense join. Those people, the whole thing was totaling to 30.
I know.
On the 24th, I'll be going to open a hospital at my mother's village. On the 25th, I will be launching the blah, 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 blah. 30 people to guard one person.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. You can't give example of why you need the security. Say, as you know, last week, an assassination attempt was made on my good friend, Senator Ifan Yoba. That is the kind of country, that's the kind of country we live in. 30 people, they follow you around. And you're not the president.
It's where you can go and live lawlessly. And there's nothing wrong in it to so many people. They will just say, you said go make money, maybe you can't live like that. How do you can't eat?
You know another thing you know another thing I hate hearing, bro, and it gets to my nerves. When they say when you get there too, you do the same.
You do the same.
I hate that thing. I hate that thing.
Before you hate that,
I hate that thing.
What make me hate them is that they will say it with total conviction and confidence. They don't know you.
Exactly. So why do you think I must be like that?
They say, I know that one 100%. I know say you go be worse.
Papa, you go be worse. But do you know me exactly? Thank you. You know. You're telling me when I get there, you don't know because man, well, look at this. And Shio Kuti, they analyze this Yahya Bello 80 billion loot. What the hell, man? What for? You say you not go forget where some of the money they. If they accept, how would you comprehend? Just like one woman.
Imagine a day here now. They look up papers. Okay, BNP Paribas, Spain, 61 million euro. Okay, Chinese Unity Bank. $415 million. Okay, America. Like, I'm not gonna sleep now.
No, I'll go crazy. I'll go mad. I will go mad.
Sleep normally.
Like I've always told anyone that any day, God forbid, if I kill person accidentally, the worst thing to do is start covering it up. Just go straight. Go straight. Not even begin the wipe. They use bleach. Go straight. Go straight. It will, at least for the mere fact you went straight, it will lessen anything. The moment you start changing anything, then you're fucked.
Your own grave. And once
just go straight.
You should stop.
Or they where you there, call them. That one is even better. Make them come. I don't do them. Bam. Open door. Lie down there.
The thing is that don't find yourself in that situation, and if you do,
God forbid, God forbid, God forbid, God forbid.
Maybe in Nigeria, Nigeria, it should be another kind of advice.
Why will you run away in this country if something happens? Except it's a bomb threat. If you need to get out, fine.
Right.
But you get everything go happen now. Where policeman go there? You know, for Lagos, like policeman begin. You never hear that story for airports. Yeah. But it's and with all due respect, now Yoruba Yab, they say for Heathrow those days, person they run to catch flight.
Right.
Now so Yoruba man now, based on habit, where if you waka person begin run, you go begin run now because you don't know where this innocent woman was going to catch her flight. The guy begin pursue the woman. Now, so they arrest our guy, yo. Why are you running? He said he saw the woman running.
And he started running too.
He started running.
Yeah. Because you know why you have to run sometimes. There is this popular illustration, okay? So they said elephants. You know, elephant is very big, right?
Yeah.
He was taking a stroll. And suddenly they just saw all these animals running towards him. You know, the goat, the dog, the chicken, everybody trying to run away. I was like, what happened? Why is everybody running? Finally, one of them stopped. It was the goats. What? Why are you running? He said, they are arresting all the antelopes. Up there, they are arresting all antelopes. I said, but you are not an antelope now. This one are chicken, this one are dog. Now, why are you all running? He said, well, the last time they were arresting all of the zebras, you see all the antelopes, so lion, where they are around, they arrested all of them too.
Join.
And you know something? The elephant started running too. Like, okay, you know what? Let's go. Because that's the situation. Sometimes when when you see them like that, sometimes you might just have to at least to be safe than sorry. But not inside the airport. Where are you running to?
Exactly. Exactly.
Where are you running to? Into the plane? Anyway, brother, thank you for
my brother,
sharing this with us.
keep up the good work. Let them keep up spreading the fake news there about things changing. But of course,
I know
you can't cheat nature now. Can you cheat nature?
No, you can't. You can't lie.
My brother, one love.
You can lie your way to power with the help of others. Or you cannot successfully run a country on propaganda like this. You have to do something.
How do they say it? You can lie your way to power, but the same lies cannot help you succeed.
No, you can't sustain.
Cannot keep you there. That's a better one. That's a better one.
You cannot keep you. You have a good one, okay?
One love, one love. Easy.
Bless you, Baba. So yeah, I also have another caller, but since some of you are now awake, especially in America, at least like the video. Right? Hello there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Maiyegun General. Good morning.
The African Wahala Prince. How are you today?
Yes. I'm doing well, brother.
Grand.
Yeah, good to see you shining. Good to see you smiling.
Thank you.
Salute to you, my bro. Yes, sir.
Bless you, man. Thank you.
Shout out to the previous caller. He said he gets very upset when people say, when you get there, we'll do the same.
Rejection.
But it's true, bro. I know. Let me say this.
Right.
People might disagree with me. And that's fine. But let me explain why most likely 90% of people will do, not even 90, 99% of people will do the same if they ever get into those positions of authority in a country like Nigeria. The reason is because we all understand that Nigeria is a criminogenic society. And what that means is a society that requires you to partake in criminal activities in order to thrive. If you don't partake in criminal activities, most likely you will be poor. That's how Nigeria is designed. So if you get into the position of authority and you have good intentions, 99% of the time, you will be forced to conform to the criminality, and you will become a criminal.
That is so plausible. That your standpoint, and I don't think a lot of people will disagree with you. You make a lot of sense, right? Simply put, even if you have the intention of going in there to change anything, you won't be so surprised. You won't be too surprised that the entire system, as the way as it is structured, will change you, even when you probably don't even know that you have already changed, because it's built that way. I quite agree with that too. You know, it's a bit different from people projecting to say, just saying it blatantly that, oh, you're going to be like them. Or
there's a slight difference.
Right. It can be. Even if you don't have the intention of being like them, we've seen a lot of people who went in there and they even became worse. Copy.
Exactly. Exactly. They will get worse.
So
and the only people
sound point there, the African Wahala.
Maiyegun, we have many examples. The first one I can think of is Oshi Omoale of Edo State. You see, the guy right now, he is a terrorist. But when he was the LPC, NPC, Labour, whatever, chairman.
The NLC chairman.
NLC, yeah. When he was the NLC chairman, this guy, they loved him. Oh, the workers were jubilating in 99, 2001. Oh, this guy is fighting for us. Then once he got into the position of authority, he became just like them. That's how Nigeria is. The only people, let me just end this conversation with, the only people that can get into such positions and will remain resolute are people with extremely strong character and people that are ready to die. Yeah, and you have to be ready to die for what you believe in.
You have to mean it. Not ready. You have to mean it. I'm ready.
Yes. Like the former president of Tanzania, John Magufuli. That guy was a man that was ready to die. Yes. Not these charlatans in a criminogenic society. Don't believe them, people. Please, if anybody tells you, oh, I have good intentions when I get into the governorship, I'm going to make things better, it's a lie. They won't. I'm telling you the truth. This is how you're going to protect your mental health. They will disappoint you. It's not about the individuals. It's about the system. It's a criminogenic system, so you are required to conform, get into that system. But feel free to disagree with me. Thank you, Maiyegun. Thank you for your platform. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
That was so brilliant. It's an argument I will make. Indeed. And it is actually an argument I've stood by for a very long time on this platform, if we all have to be honest, okay? I have said it personally that when people say they want to go and change the system, they ended up being changed by the system. And they become worse, or the worst version of what they condemn. Primarily, maybe not intentionally, but at the end of the day, the system is like that. And that's plausible. I don't think Cham would disagree. Would you? Cham.
Hello, good morning, Maiyegun.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Oh, afternoon, actually. It's afternoon.
Oh, is it afternoon at yours yet?
No, it's morning. It's
well,
not afternoon.
Let's say good morning. Then I can say good afternoon.
Okay.
I know. How are you
All right.
today? How are you?
I'm fine. Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. TGIF. Please.
Do you know, like for the past couple of days, I've been watching a show, but just sad and unhappy, I think, because of everything that's going on in that country.
I can imagine.
There just doesn't seem to be any respite, to be honest,
Like, give
I
us
think
a break,
one of
man.
the
Can you please people give
exactly
us a break? Can you at least just once, just one, but there is no break at all.
But
no break.
There's no break.
It's like a roller coaster of trouble. And it keeps going and going and going. Never
it just keeps going. Just before watching your program, and I was thinking to myself that this government I think the point of Tinubu's government is actually to wake people up. People might disagree, but I think the worse it gets, right, we're going to have to come to that understanding that religion is not going to help you.
No.
Your tribe or ethnicity is not going to help you.
No, not in this case.
That we have to start enthroning the right things in our politics, in our different, even not just our politics, in our own small spaces. Otherwise, we're going to keep getting these kind of people in power and nothing is going to change, right? Now they want you to believe that things are getting better.
Can you believe that? Yeah? Imagine somebody watching from Nigeria, they're seated there, and then they listen to this. Champ.
Could have been said perhaps 2 months ago. I think that is less the case now when you consider the fact that Nigerians have, borne witness that their spending power has substantially increased over the course of the last 1 month plus. Given the reforms that have been put in place by this administration, even within the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Like, if I was in Nigeria, I would actually hate them more. But see,
Maiyegun, if ever there was somebody that did a dirty slap, is that man, that one.
So you feel the same way too, right? Because I saw somebody who said that they have never felt the need or the urge to give somebody a big, huge slap.
I mean,
right
the kind of slap that sends him into
like
another.
Like looking at that journalist interviewing him. You should just stand up and slap him. That would be the news, not the jargons he's saying. But no.
Honestly, if ever there was one human being that I wanted to give a dirty slap to, that just, used all my whole being to give it, is that man, that one that is there. I want to slap him into the next, into the next life, because I can't believe that you sit down there and tell Nigerians, no, you're not suffering. Actually, your life is getting better. Your life is getting better. People are queuing up for petrol that they can't even find.
That's lasted over a week now.
That's lasted over a week. That cost is over 1,000 naira, and yet their life is better under this stupid administration. I think that suffering, the suffering that Nigerians need to suffer, is the kind of suffering that will reset our brains. Do you understand? So that when somebody comes on national TV to tell you that you're not suffering, that in fact you're having a good time, right? You can stand up, with your whole chest and tell them you are lying, and then go after them. Because the thing is, Nigerians have people. I don't know, this should make you mad. Shouldn't it make you mad? Shouldn't it make you just like, you know what, enough is enough. I can't be suffering. I can't be in a situation where I'm not able to feed properly, and you're telling me that my life has improved substantially. Do you know what it means to use the word substantially?
Substantially means that it is so visible and it's massive. Haba. Hey.
I don't understand, honestly. I really don't. And with regards to something African Wahala said about, and not just African Wahala, I think the person before him, the reason why we can say things like, you know what, if you get into government, and actually he did say you can get into government and you do worse, is because Nigeria is a society, or the place called Nigeria is a society that has entrenched corruption, right? It has entrenched mediocrity.
Maybe we should even use institutionalized them. Because it look like normal. It's like all these things are law unto themselves. Okay?
So that is why somebody will go in there and become worse. But I also want to say something, right? Okay. That person has had the proclivity to be that way.
All right.
Do you understand?
It's pretty much like you are like down bad anyway, so don't use the system as your excuse.
Exactly. Don't use the system as your excuse. Because you could easily say no. There's no gun to your head. Nobody is forcing you, to the best of our own knowledge, to the best of our own collective knowledge.
To be sincere as well, right? Okay. Yeah, it's corrupt. The system is there. You want to find out, and then you found out that the system is going to change you. Instead of you changing the system, you
have to step away. Exactly. You have to walk the same way you walked forward. You can walk backwards and leave that place. You don't have to be there. You don't have to become part of the problem. If you can't be the solution, you don't have to become part of the problem. You can't use the fact that a system is corrupt to justify your own corruption or to justify your own greed.
Involvement.
It has to be.
I can't avoid it. It's just there.
No.
But that's another point.
You can definitely avoid it. It's like the chicken and the egg, which came first. You can't say that you became corrupt because no, you were always corrupt. You always had the inclination to be corrupt. Exactly. you always had that inclination to be corrupt. You always had the inclination to be greedy, right? The fact that you are now in power has just made it easier for you, and
because we cannot say no. That's one thing. Some people said, that no. It's so easy to say, but it is actually a very difficult word to say when you are at a box to a corner. How can you get boxed to a corner where you're now being asked to compromise your stand if ordinarily your stand is always clear? Let me use this example now, Cham, right? So let's say I am somebody who will never join their politics. I have picked what I wanted to pick from it. And if I'm going to join their politics, it's going to be under a different arrangement that will be running for something separate, not one Nigeria. You get what I mean now, right? So if I get boxed to a corner and I had to compromise and say, oh, it's because I got boxed to the corner, it simply means I already have that lie in me that I have not had a chance or courage, right, to push.
Exactly, or the opportunity.
Away. I could easily just walk away. I said, exactly. You wanted to so and so. I said, no, I'm not doing it again. Sorry. Why? Because I would never want to be involved in this. Thank you.
Exactly.
It's easy. So nobody should say no. It's very hard to say. No is only hard to say when your own interests is going to be affected in this case.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I wanted to say, really. That yes, the system is corrupt. Yes, the corruption has been institutionalized.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have always been a good and moral character, right, you will not bend, you will not fold because you found yourself in there. You can walk away. That's what your legs are for. And then your mouth is for, if anybody asks you, right, your brain has already articulated the reason why. You use your mouth to tell people,
and tell them what happened.
I will not do this. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Tell them what happened. That is what you're there for, right? And the more people walk away, the thing is that we also minimize the power of, someone walking away from something. Because if they can see one person walking away from a thing, people will know that it's possible, that you don't have to, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have to actually fold into all of these horrible situations, right? And just on a side note, right, I love to watch historical Chinese period pieces, right?
Right.
And what I see about those people they're just like the Southern, they're not just like us, very proud people who, love themselves, love their people, want their people to do well, believed in their own traditions and their own ways of life and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They also had interactions with the Caucasians, the Europeans and everything, but they never let that influence get in there deep. They always still had their own sense of self and their own beliefs. And what I'm getting somewhere with that. That we seem to, the difference between us and them, right, is that they continue to believe in their own selves, in their own traditions, in their own beliefs, in their own their self-preservation and their way of life, the things that they valued, like excellence. They want excellent people who knew what they were doing in certain places and things,
like
right?
The animals,
which
right?
is why,
like they say except for Africans, okay? The animals, even animals, they will never allow the weakest of them to lead them. It's impossible. Right? Animals in the jungle. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with these Asians as well. They won't allow the creepiest or the weakest of them to lead them. Okay?
Absolutely.
The weakest of them are those that will never preserve their self-dignity, their historical achievements and all that, as well as their economic, traditional, cultural stuff, language that actually defines them, right? They were able to sustain them because they were not led by weak men. We can't say the same thing of our own, John.
No, we can't say the same. And that's the distinction. That's why they are progressive. They still have Christians there. They still even have Muslims, and they still have Buddhists and all of that in that same country, right? But the difference is, they haven't, the kind of things that they've raised in those spaces. Some people might disagree with the CCP and all of that, That's their own if they want to go into the details and everything. But the bottom line is that they haven't let things like religion, tribe, and all of that overshadow the most important things.
Because they know the danger. Do you know that Islam in China is not a religion? It's a sign of a mental disorder. Do you know that? Like for real, officially, I'm not joking. Like officially, Islam in China is considered as a mental disorder. So if you are a Muslim in China, you are risking being sent to an asylum. And there are people there as we speak. And this is their own reason not allowing religion to sweep through their country. There's no rivalry of religion in that place. So it's only idea, the ideological, differences and arguments, and that's what exists in that place. Not like
us. That is the way it should. That is the way it should be. That is just the way it should be. You can have your religion, you can have what you believe, and let it guide you in life. But it cannot be the reason why you elected into a place of power. The only reason why you are elected is because you have the capacity and the capability to do a thing, and you have the smarts to actually follow through with whatever it is that you've been given. That should be the reason why you elect a person into government. And that's why I say that this Tinubu's government, what the people are going through is whether it's to teach them a lesson, right? But it is a bitter lesson that you cannot vote in mediocrity and expect excellence. That's not going to work. You cannot vote in somebody who is an abject failure, a crook, and expect that your society is going to thrive. So when you suffer like this, right, you have to understand the reason why you are suffering. You are suffering because we have made poor choices, right? We might say, all of us, that no, nobody really voted Tinubu, but we let, collectively, right, a person like Tinubu thrive. And I know why I say that. Because of the times that we have, we have applauded them in different events and organizations when they came through. Instead of us to stone them, we applauded them. We let them sit down in our midst. What we told them was that it was okay for them to carry on in the way they were, and they have carried on. And this is where we are today. So until we suffer as a people and understand that your religion, your sentiments around your religion or your tribe or your ethnicity is not going to put food on the table. It's not going to put fuel in your car. It's not going to send your children to school. It's not going to fix your roads or do anything substantially for you. Then you will now understand, okay, this is the wrong road that we have followed. We need to change our course.
Thank you so much, Charm. I think I like speaking to you again. Like I like talking to you in the morning. It's like, it's like it comes so much like the dew of the morning, right? It could be a little bit cold and it could be a little bit somehow like warm, but it's always pleasant hearing from you.
Thank you so much, Maiyegun.
You too. You have a good one, okay? Enjoy your weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So that's a Charm, ladies and gentlemen. I want to go and get myself ready for later this evening, if I will make it down here this evening. So thanks so much for spending your afternoon or morning with me. And if I make it down here this evening, okay, that will be you and I, all of you and me. Thanks for this morning. Enjoy the rest of the day, and I will see you later. Good morning.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun diary, be number one.
Maiyegun diary political.
Maiyegun diary, be number one.
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary, be number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary, be number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, be number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lé rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.